Change is hard, and I know you or someone you know is experiencing a lot of turmoil right now. Positions being cut, returning to office after many years working remote, restructuring and having to take some new responsibilities, changing cities or even countries. The list is endless, and adapting to change and managing change are skills we do not often think about developing. Change just happens to us, and we must just deal with it. Today, let's talk about 4 steps to help you develop these skills to allow you and your team adapt to change effectively. Let's listen. Hi, this is Debbie Caro, and I'm an organizational psychology practitioner, team coach, and welcome again to the Hardcore Soft Skills podcast, where in each episode you learn new skills through expert help. We know change is quite hard, and while these days it seems to be happening everywhere, oftentimes I've seen how organizations and managers fail to prepare us for these changes. I was looking at some statistics and research, and some of the top reasons we resist change in our work is due to lack of trust in the organization, lack of communication about the change, fear of the unknown, and not participating in the change process. We ourselves also neglect to take personal responsibility to adapt and get skilled at managing change, which increases our stress and decreases our work performance. Change, as daunting as it seems, is never a solo venture. So when it comes to teams, the challenge of adapting to change becomes a collective experience. So as managers and individuals, I will share these 4 steps to get skilled at adapting to change because we cannot always control the circumstances that bring change, but we can manage how we respond to them. By the way, research from McKinsey and Company highlights that organizations with a culture of adaptability are 1.5 times more likely to outperform their competitors in terms of financial performance. This underscores the importance of cultivating an adaptable mindset at the team level. Adaptability is not a passive trait, but a skill that we must continually hone. Teams must learn not only to how to react to change, but to anticipate it as well. So let's get to our 4 steps. When faced with uncertainty, the first step is to pause, take a deep breath, and recognize the initial shock or discomfort. Yes, we are human and we must embrace the whole crappiness of the situation. Take a moment to do a BMW, which is something I learned from a podcast conversation I had with with a Navy SEAL, which means bitch, moan, and whine. Hey, do it with your team too. It may be like group therapy. Spend 10 to 30 minutes, an hour doing so. Then you will be ready for the next step, which is understanding the change. Where does it come from? Why did it came about? Who created this change? If you are a manager and the change came from way above you, it's critical and to understand and seek out answers to help your team navigate them. You need to make sure you communicate to them and be ready to answer as much as you can, regardless if the information came to you. Step 3 is to do an inventory of what is within our control and outside of our control. Do a list alone, and if it's for your team, do it with a team. We tend to spend more time to focus on the problem with they. They did this to me. They never communicated. But although this approach is comforting, it does not help us build our skills right. So identify what is within and outside the control. Draw a list or a circle showing literally what is within the circle, which is what is within our control, and outside the circle, write those things outside of our control. Then evaluate and time to go to step 4, which is step 4. Once we focus on what is within our control, it's time to reframe. This is the part where we risk jumping into all bad things happen for a reason, kind of like a little toxic positivity outlook, which may not always be helpful, but it's time to dig into some facts And how do we find these? Find someone who has undergone a similar change and loves it. Find facts in support of the change. Getting back to office, find people who enjoy it. Yes, we are out there. And or find facts about benefits of it. Role change, find more details about new role. Anything interesting? Is this opportunity an opportunity to learn new skills? Losing a job, well, that sucks, but time to reach out to contacts who have gone through similar situations and ended up reinventing themselves. And from your next move, changes in team composition, time for a team makeover, and relook at roles and responsibilities. This is a forced time to let go of old habits because as we discover what can be quote unquote good about the change, we need to start forming our plan to explore new possibilities. So, as an individual or manager, make sure you capture the action plan and steps to measure your progress towards adapting to new scenarios. What do you need to do to return to the office? What new routines can you establish to make it pleasant? What training plan will you set up to learn new things? This agency will help you feel more in control. Then, of course, regularly evaluate how is it going? What do I need to do? What else can I change? Is it time to move on? As a manager, a key question to ask yourself is how can I help my team overcome difficulties? The goal is not to constantly be firefighting, but to create an environment where the team doesn't have to face recurring obstacles or always be in crisis mode. Adaptability is a process, not a destination where you can say, I have now adapted, because you and I know things will continue changing. So let's recap. Step one, you can complain. Remember, BMW. Then understand the change and find answers. Step three, do an inventory of what you can and cannot control so you can get to the next step of seeking what's so good about the change and then set a plan for the change. Lather, rinse, repeat. Are you undergoing a situation of change? I will be happy to help you navigate it. Check out my website, hardcoresoftskillspodcast.com/courses to find out about coaching and workshop opportunities. Thank you for listening.